welcome back to Times Square today. I'm your host, Bob Guinea, and joining me is the lovely Nancy Ho. Now, Nancy, you've shared stages with Dr. Phil, Deepak Chopra, now me.
Yes, and now you?
Not with a lot, not as grand, I'm sure. But how wonderful is it to be right here in the heart of Times Square?
Absolutely. And I flew like 20 over hours to come all the way here. It's all worth it.
That's so amazing, isn't it? And that I've heard so much about, we were just talking about Japan, we were talking about China and Asia. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fascinated. And I just want to go so much because I've heard that the hospitality is next level. The food is incredible. So that's a bucket list for me. That's a bucket list for me.
Yeah, Singapore is something else.
Oh my gosh, that's my dream. That is my dream. Now, you have been in your industry for over 30 years. I mean, you've done so many different things. Author, speaker, coach. I mean, there's so many things. Tell us about the two different books that you've been a part of, and how those have really informed what you do.
Okay, the first book that I've written was Love Reignited. And why I did that book was I had clients that come in, and one of the most painful thing is about relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's the hardest to so-called control because between two person, and I think career is kind of easier.
Sure, yeah.
Because you get your strategy going and you just be focused and all that. But of course, that's also the flip side of things, right? But then again, it's very painful. Two person, sometimes, it's very painful, and sometimes it's like, they didn't sign up for it. And how did it turn up otherwise?
And you can lose each other sometimes, right? And you can lose that focus that a couple wants to have.
Right.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's painful.
So you see, we talk about communication, all right?
Yeah.
I'm not a marriage counselor.
Right.
Okay, but I do couple therapy, which is very different because I deep dive into their issues.
Yes.
Right? Because both individual come with baggages.
Oh yeah.
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 So it's not about, help them, how to get along, but because of their past and their baggages, that add to their issues, that add to their problems, and let alone here come the children.
Right. Yeah. And now we're just continuing that cycle, right?
Exactly.
I think it's hard for people to be vulnerable sometimes. And that's what it takes, right? That communication cycle has to be everyone being honest and open.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. And then you're also with Jack Canfield on a new book as well, aren't you?
Yes, The Success Redefined.
Love it.
Okay, the chapter that I contributed was called The Paradox of Success.
Okay.
The hidden struggle of high-performing professionals.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack because, people chase after so-called their dreams, all well and good. But in the midst of chasing, they lose themselves.
Right.
So on the outside, they have it all, but they are not fulfilled.
Empty,
void.
Yeah.
And they wake up, of course, doing the obvious, chasing the dream, or they achieve loads. But then, they may even go into addiction because they don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really one of the
focus. Really interesting take on that. I mean, you do see such highly successful people sometimes dealing with depression, and people will look at them from the outside and be like, oh, what's wrong with your life? You used to be perfect.
Exactly.
But it's not, right? You have to deal with that stuff.
Exactly. They actually will look so ungrateful if they complain.
Right.
You have everything. What are you complaining about? Exactly,
Yeah.
So they lose themselves, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
They have to go back home.
Yeah.
So this is what I do with them. Okay, very insightful coaching that I deep dive, insightful coaching, so that they go back to the source of who they are.
Right.
Sort of like look at their purpose again, look at what really make them smile at the end of the day.
Yeah. Find that joy.
Exactly, that joy. And of course, the inner peace.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't have peace.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. I love that. I love your energy, and I love the big smile you have, and you can tell you love what you do. Sure. Have you ever had a client or someone recently that you've served that came to you and they had that kind of emptiness and you were able to transform that for them?
I tell you all the time.
I bet.
All the time.
Yeah.
All right, but like I said, they can't talk about it.
Right.
Even they go home, and if they're going to share with their wife, then they're going to be another problem altogether.
Sure.
And that's why my first book, Love Reignited. But in any case, it's not about just sharing their sorrows, but really they're going to work through what went wrong.
Right.
If you don't know
Yes.
what's went wrong, you can't fix. If you don't know what is wrong, what are you going to fix? You don't know what to fix.
No, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's almost like you're just
exactly.
throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall and hoping it sticks, right?
Exactly. So I get into the root cause.
Yeah.
And often the root cause is from childhood.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So always say, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. I'm just kidding.
yes, I know that.
Oh, I used to always say that to my mom, and she would find that funny. So,
Yeah.
what's one of the biggest misconceptions of what you do? I mean, I think people hear that a life coach or a transformative coach. What are one of the biggest misconceptions that you face, and how have you overcome that?
You see, one of the tools that I use is hypnotherapy.
Okay.
Using hypnosis, because hypnosis is the tool to deep dive in that root cause, so to speak, right?
Maybe allows you to get out of your own way a little bit.
Exactly, right? To let go, to know what is really in your subconscious. Not that the person is not conscious, but they're not conscious that story, I'll call it, all right? It was a long time ago, maybe at 4 or 5 or 10, all right? It's the root cause to their present problem.
Right.
Example, one of the thing, is anxiety.
Oh, sure.
I mean, beautiful city, New York. Look, I can't see anybody really smiling.
Right. No, that's so true. Yeah. My
I can't
gosh.
see anybody smiling.
So
here.
really, except us. We're having a great time. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So therefore, people think that, hypnosis, control the mind, or why would I want to review my problems, right? Like, open the can of worms, stuff like that. But actually it isn't. I've been to therapy for years.
Yeah.
All right, and hence why I have the joy. I mean, truly the inner joy, because I got rid of whatever crap.
Right, we all carry it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so as a life strategist, all right, I work through, all right, their goals are not just about material goals, but really, like example, I'm already 61.
Wow.
Yes.
I would never have guessed.
And looking at my family tree, I probably have another 30 years to go.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes, my mom is 92 and she's still alive.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So the point is, how I'm going to go on for the next 30 years? I don't want to be sick in a wheelchair like many seniors.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't set the goal to be that way. They did not realize what kept them so unhappy.
Right.
So therefore, if you deal with it, and then you have a new set of goals, new milestone, all right, like I said, the purpose, then come the fulfillment and the peace and the joy.
I love that.
Yes.
Nancy, it's definitely working for you. I mean, you look incredible.
Thank you.
I love your joy. You just give off such a great energy, and it's very infectious, very contagious. I'm not going to lie. You make me feel better about myself already. How would our viewers find you? How could they get a hold of you so they could actually be a part of what you're building?
All right. Easy. NancyO.net.
Perfect.
That's so easy.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it.
Or you just search NancyO Singapore.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, all the platforms and that you can find me easily.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I love it. I'm so happy for your success. I mean, this has been a wonderful time spending with you. Thank you for giving us the time.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. We appreciate you having us here in Times Square today, and we'll be back.